All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome in to this session next, which is I forgot the number just now. Session 7. Excuse me. I had a brain fart. So excuse me. So my name is Matt Kopek, and welcome to the 7th session of the Ward 3 Neighborhood Series, which is COVID compatible events. So I will share my screen to allow everyone to see the agenda. So here we go. So we'll have a welcome. I'll do some quick housekeeping in a moment. Well, since we have enough people we could do introductions all around, and then we'll jump into the content of the session, which is, COVID compatible events. So, and then down here, mark your calendars. We have another event coming up in 2 weeks, February 18th, which is communication for these events that you are going to plan and enjoy. So, so welcome in everyone. I will stop sharing my screen, and then I will put this agenda in the chat, and then we will go from there. So, quick housekeeping. It looks like everyone's literally doing it, so that's great. If you're not speaking, go ahead and mute yourself. And then Sarah and I will be monitoring the chat. So if anybody needs to ask a question, just go ahead and raise your hand. All right. So to get us started off with introductions, I'll go to Sarah, and then Sarah, you can pick the next person.
Okay, thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. I'm Sarah Lanius. I work in the Ward 3 Council office. It's nice to see all of you. These are all folks who I know and really enjoy, so I'm so glad that you're able to be here tonight. And I am going to pick on my favorite Tucson House resident, Mike, to introduce himself next.
I knew this was coming. Hello, everybody.
We can't seem to hear you, Mike.
Let's try that. How's that?
That's better.
Okay. New headset. Learning the controls. Let me try again real quick. Mike, resident of Tucson House, secretary of the Tucson House Residents Council, involved in Thrive in EO5. And I'm going to pick on someone I haven't seen or spoke to in a while, Martha. Now you have to unmute, Martha. Still muted, Martha.
Oh, Martha Ritalik, El Cortez Heights Neighborhood Association Vice President.
And Martha, do you want to pick someone else to introduce next?
Barbara Miller.
Hi, I'm Barbara Miller, but otherwise known as BAM, and I'm with the Samos neighborhood. I'm the president. Good to see you all.
All right. I'll just choose real quick. Cindy, do you want to introduce yourself?
Everybody, I'm Cindy Hauserman. I'm with an officer with the Sugar Hill Neighborhood Association.
All right.
And I'll throw it to Kristen.
Hi, my name's Kristen. I'm the education coordinator at Bicus. We're a community bicycle shop, and we're just on the edge of Sugar Hill.
Excellent. You guys are good, very well represented. All right. Next, do you want to, Nicole Snook?
Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole Snook, a resident of the Flowing Wells Neighborhood Association and leader of the Flowing Wells Estates Neighborhood Watch.
Great. Katie?
Hi, everyone. Good to see some familiar faces. I'm Katie Gannon. I'm the Executive Director of Tucson Clean and Beautiful.
Excellent.
How about William? Did you go?
There we go. Thanks. William Nelson, president of the El Cortez Heights Neighborhood Association. Going to be talking a little bit later about one of our activities.
Excellent. And then is that Ernesto in the?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
But you can't see me.
No.
Hey, video technology, what can I say? Hi, everyone. This is Neto Portillo, comrade in arms of Matt and Sarah. Good to be here. Good to see you. I'm going to be jumping off shortly because Felman's is asking me to join them. Felman's going to meet shortly, so I'll be jumping off. But hey, everyone, you're lucky you haven't seen me because I just came in from a run.
Nice. Well, thank you, Neto. All right. So thank you everybody for being here. We appreciate it. So now we're going to dive into the content portion of the session. So I kind of broke it up into 3 different themes for events. The first one is cleanups and / beautification. So a little bit more utilitarian for your neighborhood. And then next is sort of community building theme. And then the last one is social. So, party on. So first, for our cleanup and beautification sessions, the first person we're going to toss it over to is Katie Gannon, who is the Executive Director of Tucson Clean and Beautiful.
Thank you, Matt. Can I share my screen?
Yes, I just made you a co-host. It might take a moment to load, but yes, you should be able to.
Okay, great. So bear with me just a moment here. Slideshow. Okay, so can you see that? Tucson Clean and Beautiful?
Yes.
Okay, so we have quite a number of resources, and I'll move pretty fast. I think several of you know about us and aspects of our programs, but in a nutshell, we are coordinating with volunteers and liaising with government. So helping volunteers get involved in the environment, and then working with government to, because we're working in public spaces, to connect them to additional resources. So we work in litter, tree canopy and green infrastructure, and also just general waste reduction, proper recycling, DIYs, ways to reduce the litter you create, and then volunteerism. And just a couple of things, we feel that humans have a reciprocal relationship with the environment, that, during COVID, more than any time, we realize how much we value our outdoor spaces, and our outdoor spaces need us too, to take care of them. It's not just a one-way street. And that also, when we take care of the environment, we're also taking care of ourselves. And that's kind of the foundation of what we do. And I always like this quote by Lily Tomlin. I said, somebody should do something about that. And then I realized I am somebody. And that's the real kernel here, is that it really starts with you. What do you want to do? And we'll help you get there. We're not going to do it for you, but we'll help you do it. So we have a tree program, low cost trees. We're very also concerned about the urban forest and the mayor's Tucson Million Trees campaign. We have various ways you can clean up, get involved in cleaning up, and I'll talk a little bit about that. And then the GSI mini grant program, which is for small neighborhood scale water harvesting projects. So I'll talk about each one of those quickly. If I always recommend everybody participate in the TEP Trees for You program. This is not that. You can get $5 trees from them and you go pick them up. Trees for Tucson, we have $25 5-gallon trees and we'll deliver them to your door. So, but always take advantage of that TEP program first if you can, because they're nearly free. Neighborhood tree planting. This is something that we've really ramped up this year with our private donors there at the bottom in support of the Tucson Million Trees campaign. So for any neighborhood that has 10% or less tree canopy cover, we will go in and provide 2 free trees per household, and then we'll come back and plant them on planting day with neighbors. And this is a picture of Councilmember Durham with tree planting in Miracle Manor, I believe that was. And it's really an effort to increase tree canopy in neighborhoods that are in desperate need of it. You know, that is our major vulnerability with respect to climate change, is it's getting hotter and hotter. And so we really need these life-giving, cooling shade trees to keep our communities livable. So let me know if your neighborhood might be interested in that. We'd love to work with you. So in terms of cleanups, there's really 3 kinds. And this is the Team Up to Cleanup is a new kind of COVID adaptation and it's really more of an individual program. So if you're walking around your neighborhood, you walk your dog every evening and you want to start picking up litter, we can outfit you with a litter grabber, a bucket, and some bags, some gloves, and you can pick up litter wherever you go. If you haven't heard the term plogging, you know, you can go for a jog and grab litter on your way, or grab a friend and go for a walk and talk and just pick up litter while you're doing it. And it's a great way to clean up your neighborhood, meet neighbors, and make the place look a lot better. Let us know if you're interested in that. We'll fix you up with those supplies. You can always start a one-time cleanup. You know, there's an alley or a park that's particularly messy and you want to get a group together and just clean it up next Saturday. Well, a little more lead time would be good. We can help you. If we can get permissions that are required, we can get you the supplies you need. We can get that garbage picked up and we can enable you to get that done. If you live near a park or on a street that you want to continuously clean, that comes into our adoption program. You can, do I have a slide on that? Yes. So we have a map of parks, streets, washes that are available for adoption. Snook, you know all about this. And you can form a group. Usually we kind of need a group name. It's not an individual program, but Friends of Changemaker High School, you know, that a group can adopt a space, and after 6 months of stewarding it, you get your own dedicated sign that says this space is adopted by Changemaker High School, for example. And again, we'll provide you with all the supplies and support you need. And then most recently is the GSI mini grant program. And this is a Tucson water program where each city ward gets about $40,000 a year to divide among green infrastructure projects that harvest water and support vegetation. And here's an example of one in Ward 6. You know, these projects harvest water, they create green spaces, they make your neighborhood look great, and they solve real problems. And so often they can also calm traffic or just remove blight. You know, if you have a corner where there's a lot of problems, maybe there's graffiti, this is a good way to inhabit it. And then volunteering. It's, every single Saturday morning, we're out there planting trees. It's a really fun way to get involved. It takes 2 hours, 9 to 11, while it's cool here. And we plant trees in COVID safe teams, and you meet other people of all ages, and no matter your abilities, there are ways that you can participate in this. We also have ongoing cleanups you can join in addition to tree planting. And that's what I have.
Great, excellent. Thank you so much, Katie. If anybody has like a quick question or two, we could take that now, but I kind of structure this for the ending to be sort of a catch-all Q&A for all of our presenters. But
Just a quickie, I'm sorry. What is GSI?
I'm so sorry. Green stormwater infrastructure, but it's really rainwater harvesting used to support vegetation. That's the green. And we like to think it's mostly the tree canopy that is so important for our future.
excellent, Cindy, that is the kind of question I was looking for. Good job. All right. So now we'll turn it over to Mr. Nelson from El Cortez to talk about a more sort of organic style of neighborhood cleanup program.
Well, yeah, I don't know about organic, but we did start doing a weekly walk and cleanup and in El Cortez Heights, and it sort of began life. At least my initial concept was more like neighborhood watch, because we had some problems going on, and but it evolved pretty quickly into a cleanup instead. And so we kind of walk and we talk and we pick up trash. We use pickers and buckets, and actually this was highly enabled by Tucson Clean and Beautiful by means of these pickers that they gave us. I'll try to show one here. I believe Martha, these were given to Martha, our vice president, a long time ago, and they are pretty essential actually for doing a trash pickup operation. I do recommend buckets too, unless you want to spend your whole time keeping the bag open. And yeah, in fact, we just did that just this evening. There were four of us, I think. So that's not a bad turnout. Our neighborhood only has like 200 people. Sometimes we have just 2 people. I send a mail every week about that and try to ascertain, who's going to be there and so on. I also announce it on social media. Like, I don't know, I'll try to show this little graphic from, oh, it's backwards, but anyway, Instagram graphic. Here's another one to do the announcements. So on social, we have like 1 Instagram follower now, so the social is not really lighting it up for us yet. But anyway, it's pretty good. It's like a social event. We do a pretty good number on the trash too sometimes. Yeah, the street sweepers have been good lately, so the street sweepers are actually accomplishing a lot in our neighborhood too lately. I hadn't seen them for quite a while, but they're definitely back. So that's good. Do I have anything else to say about that? I don't think so. Yeah, but I think it's a great thing for neighborhoods to do. I do recommend acquiring some trash pickers because they help a lot.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I think one of the, we kind of wanted to bridge the spectrum of neighborhood sort of improvement things you could do. So, with Katie at Trees for Tucson, these sort of larger scale, longer term, that might be more impact, especially with tree planting, especially longer term once the tree develops, but also, regular, consistent, fairly low, low cost efforts that improve the neighborhood that could be done together. These are all outside, mask up, stay 6 feet apart, but you're able to spend time with, your peers and while also doing something productive in the neighborhood. Sarah, did I see your hand up?
Yeah, I just had a quick question for Will, and thanks for sharing that, because it's exciting just that this is something that's still fairly new for El Cortez, and also just having a more regular event that's happening in the neighborhood, because I know your meetings are, I think, on a quarterly basis right now. Is that right?
Yep.
So that's kind of cool. So I'm just curious, like, as you've been doing the cleanup, have you found yourself interacting with people, over the yard, over the fence or whatever, like, as you've been out, that you maybe otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to engage with folks in the same way?
There are people who have given us, the high five and so on. I don't know that, I mean, yeah, definitely. I don't know that we brought anybody new into the fold, so to speak, so far. I would definitely caution about not engaging with the neighbors who might have trash that's a problem, because I did that and that was a big mistake. So some kind of engagement is to be avoided. But yeah, I definitely have hopes for the future of bringing some more people into the sort of association by doing that. We've definitely interacted with people. Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much. Next, we're going to turn to our next theme, which I kind of entitled Community or Community Building. So Bam Miller is here from Samos to talk about a project that we think is pretty neat going on in their neighborhood.
Well, we have several things. One is the biggest one is we'd have a free table. My husband set out a table right next to the wash, right in front of the wash that's right beside our house. And we put out things that, since we were going through closets, we had time, we were putting out things that we wanted to get rid of that were nice, but that we didn't need any longer. And as a result, neighbors started bringing things. And so people take things and bring things. And we have one person who brings food and puts it on for people. And we have met so many neighbors. There's not usually a lot of people at the table at a time, so you can stay a safe distance apart. And we have also met many children. I never knew there were so many kids in this neighborhood. And it's been really fun. Overnight, sometimes everything on the table disappears, but by the next day, there's more stuff on it. And there's some pretty nice stuff, as Martha was saying. And then at our house, we have a tavern. It's a happy hour. Everybody has to bring their own drinks. We sit 6 feet apart, and it's been a real lifesaver through some of the dark times. We just sit and talk and are silly. And it's been nice. We share books now and movies and kind of what we did when we were kids, and getting to know the neighbors has been a real treat. And also in the neighborhood, there's one house on Silver in the 1400 block that on Sunday nights plays music. They're professional musicians, and they come out and play, and people bring their chairs and they sit, 6 feet apart. all kind of around their front porch. So that's been nice. It's a good way, and we've been staying pretty safe with it too. That's it.
Bam, I was going to ask how long has the free table been going, and has you mentioned that it started evolving on its own. Could you speak a little bit more about what kind of what items people might, or just if you could delve a little bit deeper into that, that'd be great.
Oh, it's been going since, let's see, about May, probably April or May, and people like puzzles. Puzzles come and go, and we take one, do it, and put it back out, and it's gone again probably the same day. There are some books on it, even though we also have a little free library. Let's see, there's been hemorrhoid cream on it. There's been a rack with clothes, and our rack, we've had 3 different racks, and they have been taken overnight 3 times. But Kevin built a rack out of pallets and a stick, and that one has not been taken. Let's see what else. Oh, there's dishes, there's mugs, lots of mugs. There were a lot of Christmas decorations before and after Christmas. Cards, art supplies, kids' toys, shoes. I mean, it's just like everything goes, and then more comes. It's been pretty neat. We do sometimes, if a book is too torn up or something, we will curate the collection, or if there are too many pieces missing from something, then we'll throw it away. But other than that, people seem to find whatever they want there. I've actually found a couple Christmas presents there. So.
What about like wind and weather?
Oh, okay. When we know it's going to rain, we put all the clothes in the trunk of my car, and we move everything into the carport in boxes. If we are caught with rain, Kevin and I are running out there in the middle of the night, covering it with tarps, which is all very exciting because the wind is usually blowing and the tarps are going everywhere. And if it's really windy, we'll bring things that are blowing, we'll bring them in. But we watch out. And if it's too hot, hasn't really been, and things melt, then we throw those things away. Or food, if it's out too long. So.
Excellent. Sarah, what were you going to ask?
I wanted to ask a little bit more about the porch concerts, and I'm so glad that you shared that, Bam, because we weren't able to have anyone from Feldman's join us tonight since they have their neighborhood association meeting this evening, but they have had a lot of success doing kind of COVID safe porch concerts, where folks can come and bring a fold up chair and maintain distance. And so early on in the pandemic, I think they found that as an opportunity to really draw new people into what was happening in the neighborhood, and would promote, they would kind of had planned jams that were from local neighborhood musicians that needed to practice anyway. They would schedule it so that they were able to promote those practices / concerts over their social media, and it turned into quite an event. And I'm just curious kind of how that has worked for Samos, having these performances.
I know that people go regularly. I haven't been able to go because we're having our happy hour at the same time. So we're hosting and they're hosting. So some night I might sneak away so I can hear the music too. Yeah. But the people who go tell me that there are always people there listening. Something people are gravitating toward.
That's awesome. So it sounds like it's on with some regular frequency.
Oh, yeah, it's every
Okay,
Sunday.
that's so great.
And we're open Thursday through Sunday from 4:30 to 6:30.
Okay. And for the happy hours, yeah,
Yeah,
for the
it's
socially
right in the
distanced
front
happy
yard.
hours.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
I'd like to show something that I got at the free table. I'm a home brewer. And if you're a home brewer, you've got bottles, you need to dry them without them falling over and breaking. I found this at the free table. I put bottles in it like this, put them in the sink, they dry out just perfectly. And you can't beat the price, free. So thank you, free table people.
You're welcome. Oh, one other thing. Kevin has a sign up that says free table. You may take anything you want for free except the table.
Yeah, I've seen that. I think I've seen Kevin too.
Yeah, probably. He's out there a lot.
Yeah, he sits outside a lot. I think I've seen Kevin. And I'm gathering together some more things to donate.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome. Well, that concert question was a perfect segue into our last theme, which is social COVID safe social events. So our next presenter we have is Carla McPherson from the Campbell Grant neighborhood to talk about a little bit about one of their successful social events that they recently had, or fairly recently.
Hi, I just needed to unmute myself. Thanks for having me. This all just kind of happened organically this past spring when we realized we needed to see our neighbors. And since the 4 homes on the corner, we live on Water and Olson, and we've kind of called ourselves the 4 Corners. We just grabbed our chairs and our drinks, and every Friday we did happy hour, just talking across the street with each other and feeling like we were still able to be socially distant, and we were far enough away we didn't have to wear masks. And we felt like, life was fairly normal in that way. And it was really quite a fun thing because not only for that, but other people would be driving by down Water Street and would stop and ask us, what's going on? And so we just shared with them, and interesting enough, others would ask if they could join in. And, we shared with them that they were more than welcome to. We just needed to make sure though that we were staying socially distant. And it became kind of a formal Friday night deal. Our numbers stayed low. Mostly we did a lot of waving to people, but it was just primarily the 4 families and maybe an extra person or 2. So then it got hot and we kept postponing happy hour later and later. And then it just said, this is way too hot. We'll have to do it when the weather cools. And we're actually just started back up again a couple weeks ago. We're thinking of maybe doing it around a fire pit in one of our backyards if we can, but still kind of waiting to make sure that, Arizona's numbers come down a little bit more before we start it up again. Were there some special questions or something that you were wanting me to cover, Matt?
No, that's great. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, probably Sarah does. But if you maybe if you want to speak a bit about how the sort of the initial conversation was. Did you happen to be walking your dog, or how did the first session come about?
It was just an idea I had, so I just started a text thread and shot it out to my neighbors and said, "Hey guys, want to meet Friday night happy hour 5 o'clock on our corners?" And everyone resoundingly replied, "Yes, definitely." And then one time I just ordered pizzas from Sauce because they were doing some specials, and did a drive-by. How they come to your car and do a curbside pickup. And then I just drove to each corner and dropped off their pizzas that we all were able just to Venmo money back and forth. And, still followed the rules, made it happen still.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah, it's big fun. And so what's one of the positive things about this is that I know my neighbors more now.
Mhm. No, absolutely. That's the goal of this, and then really the entire series.
Yeah, definitely.
So, does anybody have any additional questions? Well, I'm not seeing any, so it looks like we might, if there's nothing else, we might end this session early. So hopefully, oh, Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to go back to the free table subject real quick. It's a question for Bam, as well as, if it's all right for the rest of the group. When you were talking about the free table, it reminds me of, if I'm using the term correctly, the little libraries that are in neighborhoods at times. So I'm wondering, have you tried making having a protective structure over the table? So like you have the little library, we have the books protected. Maybe have a little protected area for items to be left and picked up and that kind of thing. And this is for BAM as well as everyone.
You know, we haven't thought that formally about it. We kind of like running out, you know, emergency rain. And we know when there's a good chance of rain, we know we just put it away before we go to bed. I don't know how long it's going to last if the pandemic is ever over. I don't know. That's not something we've thought about.
Because as I was speaking, I just remembered reading about small food pantries like that, where they put canned goods and things out.
Mhm.
Our situation here is a little different because I'm actually having people come to a location like one at a time within the building,
Mhm.
because they just have to, you know. So, but I just wanted to know if anyone else had considered that or been involved in something similar to that.
I've heard of a free store. I think Bisbee has one. So where people can just, you know, so there they actually have a building, but we don't have anything like a shed or anything like that we could use.
Mm-hmm. I've occasionally just put things on my street corner and just put a sign free, and most everything leaves.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of places in Colorado. I've seen, you know, the free corner, the free pile, or the free place. I've seen it in quite a few cities, and people do it. I've seen them more like cubbies. People will have like a cubbies on a street corner, and things are left, or a storage chest, and things are dropped off there, and then somebody comes by and sorts it out.
Kristen, I've been by Beacus, and I haven't had a chance to come by and spend more time over there. I wasn't aware of your free box. Could you tell me a little bit about what you put in there?
Well, we have it's sort of out by the curb area. We have a little shade structure and then just a bigger box. It's usually stuff that that either we can't sell or that we have too much of. We'll put water bottles in there, things that are donated, or people will bring us stuff that is not bike related, and we will put that out in the free box also.
And then in the chat, Snook mentioned that there's a free store in Flowing Wells.
Is that on Flowing Wells, or where is it?
It is located at 4650 North Flowing Wells. It's before it's before River.
Okay.
It's on the east side of Flowing Wells. It's not a very nondescript building though. And it just has a little sign that says free store. And they do accept donations and drop-offs and by appointment Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. But the shopping that is free, where you can just go in and pick up whatever you want, is from 8 to 12 on Saturdays.
Thank you.
There is also a free store on Blackledge, a bit further east. I can't recall exactly what the address is, but I'll try and find it and put it in the chat.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, there's and I think, one of the things that makes sort of all of these so special is, especially the ones that are you can really only find if you're walking or biking or something in and around your neighborhood, where you can run across your neighbors again, hopefully 6 feet apart and masked up, and then kind of be able to engage with each other a little bit. That's in addition to being exchanging useful goods, it does add to that sense of community. So excellent. Well, I think that's all I see. I don't see any other hands up. Or Sarah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just before we wrap up, I'm just curious. I'm sure that all of you have probably been to some other COVID safe events. If anyone wants to share any other examples of events that they've seen that have been successful, or if you are here also kind of with a question in terms of trying to figure out how to do something that you need to do that you want to put out to the group, I think there would probably be some interested participants for a discussion like that as well here. So just if anyone has anything else along those lines they'd like to share.
I'll just say that Sugar Hill is very excited to be working with Katie Gannon and the group. We're going to do a neighborhood tree planting coming up. So we've got the door hangers. We also put a little note about our community meeting that we had yesterday and gave everybody the link to the listserv. But we've gone around and put these on every door, and I think we've gotten, I think 5 tree orders in the first day or something like that. But we're pretty excited about it and just thrilled and inspired and so grateful for this event. So thank you.
That's great, Cindy. We're excited about it too. And we're also working with Leona there on the edge of the community garden. She's doing a little water harvesting project, and we'll be able to get some new trees in there as well. And so folks should come on out and help plant. It's a fun couple of hours. Bam, you're an old tree planter, and Snook too, and Martha. You're all tree planters.
Yeah, I'm so glad you shared that, Cindy, too, because, one of the things that's so nice about the variety of events that have been shared tonight is that those are going to appeal to different segments of each neighborhood, right? And so, the cleanups, the tree planting, the social events, the kind of free exchange stuff. I mean, that gives you an opportunity to engage with a much broader cross-section of your neighbors, which is so cool. And I think that most of the events that we've described tonight are also very achievable for neighborhoods to do. So I hope it will encourage maybe some additional activities. And as always, let Matt and I and Neto know how we can support, because we're always happy to offer any help. And obviously Katie and her team at Tucson Clean and Beautiful are amazing resources as well for the cleanup efforts. So thanks.
Absolutely. And that's a good note to end on. Sarah, you summed it up very well. So thank you. If that's it, we'll go ahead and call it and say thank you, everybody, for taking the time to listen and share what's been going on in your neck of the woods. So thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next time.
Great to see everybody.
Bye. Thank you. Good night.